Today is June 19th, 2024. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, as you can tell, I am dressed up once again. I don't do it very often, really, but I'm dressed up to celebrate an anniversary. Now, most of you might know that today is Juneteenth. It's a federal holiday. I think it has been for the last 2 years. So it's our newest national holiday. So what is Juneteenth? Back on this day in 1865, I believe a Union, so it's a Civil War era announcement. A Union general serving in the Galveston, Texas area made a proclamation telling the black slaves living in that portion of Texas that they were now free people, that they were no longer slaves. And I do believe that this was the last proclamation in the country informing former black slaves they were now free people, free men, free women, and they were no longer slaves. So we celebrate Juneteenth. You know, the banks are closed, stock market's closed, mail delivery is canceled for the day. But that, is not really the reason why I'm dressed with a dress shirt and a tie on. Oh, before I continue, just want to mention, just casually, that if you look back at the history of slavery, you will see, and it's not a concealed issue, but you'll discover that the party of slavery was the Democratic Party. Now, true, it's not the Democratic Party of today, but the Democratic Party endorsed, embraced slavery to the nth degree. And the Republican Party, which had been reasonably a newly created national party, in 1860, Abraham Lincoln is elected. The Republican Party was the party of freedom for black slaves, and really for almost the next century. About 95% of all black voters voted for the Republican Party because the Republicans was the party that freed the slaves. Well, that has flipped in many degrees, but historically, the Democrats were pro-slavery. They were pro-Jim Crow. They were pro-segregation, especially the Southern Democrats, very, very racist. The KKK were Democrats. These white council groups in the South, those were all Democrats. It was a very democratically based bigotry or prejudice against blacks. And the Republican Party, primarily in the North, was very pro-abolition, anti-slavery, freedom for blacks, the right to vote for blacks, all those kinds of things. Okay, so the reason I'm dressed up, though, has nothing to do with Juneteenth. It has to do with what we're going to be celebrating, we in the pro-life movement, this Saturday, June 22nd, 2024. That day will be the second anniversary of the Dobbs decision. Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. That's the full title of the decision. On June 22nd, 2022, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 that the Mississippi's 15-week abortion law was constitutional, thereby nullifying the Roe v. Wade's policy on fetal viability. Because with Roe, a woman had basically an unfettered right to an abortion up until fetal viability, and state legislatures could not enact any kind of restriction on abortion prior to fetal viability. Well, the Dobbs decision ended all that. And I am celebrating the Dobbs decision today, since I won't be doing any kind of a taping on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. So we celebrate the Dobbs decision today, at least I am. And I have mentioned too, and I'm not alone in this criticism, but the Dobbs decision is only a half measure. I mean, we all know people who are, who have this this disposition, this personality that they see everything with a positive light. The cup is always half full to a person who's an optimist. And then you've got people who are pessimistic by nature, and they see the cup always half empty. So, they're always finding fault. They're always finding things that are wrong with whatever. And I'd like to think that I'm a half full cup kind of guy, more of an optimistic person. But when it came to the Dobbs decision, it didn't really satisfy the pro-life side. The court ruled, the Alito opinion sent the issue back to the states, and the majority court said that state legislators, the lawmakers in the individual states, they are going to be the ones who will determine what will be that state's abortion policy. So in places like California and in Illinois and New York and Massachusetts, they will retain these very pro-abortion laws, or they will enact pro-life laws that are even more pro-abortion. They would enact even more pro-abortion laws, make it legal basically up to the due date. And then you've got states that are like Indiana, Oklahoma, Texas, Utah, maybe Indiana, where conservative states, where the lawmakers in those states are they're going to see a green light. Man, the court has just given us an opportunity to change the dynamic on abortion, and we're going to pass laws that reflect the will of the people in our states. Oklahoma is a very conservative, very Christian state, and they wanted to see laws that would reflect the values, the convictions of the citizens of their state. So Oklahoma has a very pro-life law, and Arkansas, very pro-life law. I mean, so you've got about 12 or 14 states that took Dobbs and they ran with it, and they quickly passed laws that either prohibited abortion from conception, or in some states they took it to like the heartbeat level, when a fetal heartbeat could be detected at that level, usually around 6 weeks of pregnancy. That would determine, okay, this unborn, this embryo, maybe it's a fetus then, is now has a heartbeat, and we're going to declare this child a human being, and that child's going to get protection. Other states have gone to 15-week bans, kind of patterned after that Mississippi law that was the framework of the Dobbs decision. So states have varying policies. So you've got a 50-state patchwork of laws, from liberal California to ultra conservative Oklahoma, and everything in between. And that is not the pro-life position, because we would like to see all children protected and all moms not being exploited or being coerced or being misinformed by the Planned Parenthood types. So I'm just going to end the program today celebrating the fact that Dobbs got rid of Roe v. Wade. That fact alone makes us want to celebrate and shout from the rooftops, "Thank you, Sam Alito, for writing this opinion. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It didn't go all the way. I mean, I think the pure pro-life position would have been that a more historical rendering of the 14th Amendment and how it was originally debated in Congress back in 1868 and how it was initially passed and became part of our Constitution, that it should have protected the unborn and given the unborn child due process of law. And the pro-life position on Dobbs really is that Alito and the conservative majority that voted for Dobbs to get rid of Roe v. Wade, they should have said the 14th Amendment protects that baby in the womb, and thereby all 50 state laws would be abolished. From California and Massachusetts and Illinois to Oklahoma's and Indiana's. And unfortunately, that did not happen. We do have a patchwork, and we do have to live with that. So, and we have to be vigilant, and we still have to fight to the death, because some states are going to be pushing that envelope every single time, and they're going to try to. The pro-abortion people are going to try to get state referendums to change state constitutions to guarantee abortion rights. We have to stop these initiatives. We lost in Michigan and in Ohio and in Kansas. But Florida may be our best chance on stopping this movement, on changing state constitutions. Dobbs decision celebration, June 22nd, 2022, that we now celebrate 2 years in a free Roe v. Wade country. Thank you, Supreme Court. Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health defeated, destroyed, and nullified Roe v. Wade. With that, I'll let you go, and I'll see you next time.